my name is Johan. I just returned from 3 months in the USA working at a summer camp.
Fantastic. Johan, how did you come about on the decision of going to a summer camp?
Um, I've been wanting to go to the US for about 10 years, and I really um, liked the idea of going to a summer camp because I have previous experience working with children, and it just to me it seemed like the best way to to go to the USA and basically work and travel and just be silly for about 4 months. I think that was the best decision I have made regarding this trip to the US.
When did you leave, Johan, and when did you come back?
I left at the end of May, and I came back in the middle of September. Um, so yes, I was there a little bit over 4 months.
And what kind of camp did you choose? And did you get the camp that you wanted to at the end of the day?
I really did not choose the camp that I went to in the end. I was just excited. The first camp that emailed me back, I checked them out on the internet, and I thought they looked pretty exciting, and it looked like a nice region they were situated in, and uh, for that reason, I didn't want to risk like maybe going with someone else and then maybe it not working out. So I just committed to it, and it was a very, very good placement. The camp I was at was amazing. Um, there was some great people, a great camp director, some great kids, and just a lot of fun stuff to do. And that was just, I think it was pure luck, and everyone wanted to know how I got to the camp that I was at, and I could not say anything else than it was just pure luck and maybe expertise. I don't know. The people that hooked me up well.
That's fantastic. Johan, where were you in the United States? Approximately, well, which state were you in?
I was in the western part of North Carolina, which seems to be summer camp central. There are a million summer camps in that area, and I can understand why, because it's just gorgeous, and there's a lot to do over there.
Could you, for those South Africans who don't understand the concept of a summer camp, could you just give us a synopsis of what your view of a summer camp was?
Okay, we really don't have anything to compare it to in South Africa. It's pretty much like the camps that you go on school trips and church trips and all that kind of stuff, but it's much better. These people are professionals. The camp I was at have been going at it for the last 85 years. They know how to handle children. They know what activities to keep them busy with, and they are apparently very good at hiring the right people for the job. Like I said, the people that I worked with was really, really good, and they were skilled people too. So we could actually learn these children new skills while just goofing off sort of the whole time. You almost get paid to have fun. And working at a summer camp is really, it's idyllic. It's not a real job because it's just it's way too much fun, and there are very, very few drawbacks. And you can just basically have fun all the time.
You had the accommodation that you were in. Were you actually sleeping in the same bungalows as the kids, or are you separated there?
The cabins we had at the camp I was we shared cabins with the children, but there's a counselor area, and the children are not allowed in the a counselor area just for privacy,
Right.
reasons. And also you cook up a lot of plans for the children inside that little counselor area, so it's really for their own benefit to not be in there. But there's no door, so if something should happen, they can physically come in there, but it's just to give the counselors who lives in that same space for 3 months, to give them a little bit of privacy, which I really appreciated. You kind of need it when you're working with 150 children all the time.
Wow, are you actually involved with 150 kids, or do you have a smaller pod which are yours to take care of?
See, yes, we had about 15 kids per cabin. But on the whole, you pretty much spend most of your time with all of those kids, you know, all across campus. But it's just what I'm trying to get at is you have 150 eyes on you most of the time. But it's smaller. We had classes, so you had classes and your cabins, and then we also had tribes and that kind of stuff. Um, so it's segmented, but there's a big group of kids at one time, all year round.
Yeah, and one of the biggest problems we have of sending young people to the camp is obviously expense. There's the airline tickets, there's the cost of the program, there's all kinds of things. Did you lose a lot of money by going there? If you take your stipend into consideration, and did it anyway balance
Mm.
itself out, or did you just put it down to a great experience?
Um, Okay, first off, I did not go to make any money. And like I said, I've been wanting to go to the US for about 10 years, so I was not, um, it wasn't a big deal for me to spend some money on this because I saved up for it. But in the end, I really thought that it worked out kind of cheap. I lived a bit more expensive than I would over here, but I thought it was kind of affordable. I got a really good rate on my plane tickets, and the only thing that was surprisingly expensive was the visa, but the course fees or the OVC fees were really not that much. At one point I was questioning myself if I actually paid OVC any money to send me over. Um, so I did not think it was too expensive. And if you live sort of uh, frugally, you can really make do with very little, and it can balance itself out completely.
That is so awesome to hear. Hey, and Johan, what is your experience with children? Are you a teacher by trade? What sort of makes you gravitate towards this sort of thing?
Um, I'm not a teacher by trade. I am a filmmaker. But for me, what gravitates me toward children is just I think I am very much still a child in myself, and um, working at a summer camp with children, it just really brings out the child in you again, because you have to be childish and weird and be a little goober in front of the children all the time. And in South Africa, I worked with children here, more with church and ministry, which is very different. But the one thing I always tried to do was to sort of just connect with children at their age, with whatever they're experiencing at that point in their life. And I really enjoy still being a child and still trying to be a child, and it's something that I want to pursue for the rest of my life. I think it's going to keep me young.
Fantastic. The actual camp that you went to, just to give people an idea, it's young Americans obviously go there for specific reasons. So as far as I understand, you get different types of camps. You get religious camps, you get disability camps. This particular camp you went to, was there any specific? Was it accented in any way for particular children?
No, I was pretty much um, sent to a camp with for just standard children. Nothing wrong with them. They're age 6 to 16, more or less, and it's just children from all ages. And there was nothing special about them except the fact that they're obviously special.
Tell me, for the average American family to send their children to a camp, is it expensive for them?
Um, well, the thing is, if you consider South African money and if you relate South African money to American money, there's a very, very big difference. When I heard the camp fees of the camp that I was working at, I fell on my back. Just when I related that, or when I did the math back to Rand, for the amount of time that they're there, I've really fell on my back. But I don't think to them it's that much. It's obviously it's not everyone doesn't have it that kind of money available, for summer camp, but to them I don't think it's that bad. It's still an amount of money, but it's not, they won't fall on their backs like I did.